It's my post-fight reaction to Quinton Randall versus Janelson, Bocachica. It was a very good fight, man. Quinton Randall came out being very aggressive. He didn't look sloppy like he did in his last couple of fights. I thought maybe this was a tough fight to pick because I felt like Quinton Randall was better than what people thought he was right now. But the last couple of fights he's been in, it's been kind of like just a little sloppy. I don't know if I thought it was a bad style matchup. That's what I kind of put it on. But then I thought the age was starting to catch up. Then you had a guy like Bocachica who's young, 25. So I'm thinking, it depends. I don't know if the young guy's ready, maybe he'll do it. If the older guy has too much experience, that's basically what the fight was about. Because it looked like random experience was too much for Bocachica. He was running to a lot of shots, didn't really have any answers, no consistent jab or anything like that in the fight. Randall started off early, did an excellent job counterpunching, giving himself enough distance to sit back, step back a little bit, be able to throw an uppercut, right hook. And Boca Chica wasn't ready for a lot of those shots. He didn't think, I don't know if he thought from what he saw in Randall's fight against Norman, maybe he was like, okay, this dude food. But at the same time, this dude only got 2 losses. So it's like, and he ain't been stopped before, so you got to go in there and make something happen. And for Boca Chica to go in there and be a little sloppy and not aggressive, I don't know what the training was as far as leading up to this fight, but he has to get a little more sharper in the future if he wants to be able to continue to box. Because at this point right now, the incident with Brian Norman Jr., yeah, that was a bad incident. But in this fight, you got to come out sharp. And Quinton Randall, he already knew, okay, my career is on the line with this fight. I got to come out sharp. I got to be locked in, focused. And he was. He was locked in, focused. Wasn't really trash talking. He like, I just got to get it done. Went out there and actually got it done. He was doing what he was supposed to. Boca Chica was out there just looking around, not really focused. I'm like, bro, you got to get your head in the game ASAP. Because when Randall, the sharp punches he was throwing, right on point. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as Bocachica walked into him, he was throwing some huge uppercuts, some hooks, jabbing very well in the fight, moving around, staying off the ropes. Bocachica did a good job too. He was going to the body a lot of times, but wasn't really good on his defense, and he wasn't really consistent. He should have been consistent in the early rounds, and then he would have been good in the late rounds. But he tried to pick it up in the late rounds, and Randall already had a rhythm. He was already in that mode, and Bocachica couldn't cut off his water, man. It was just too much. Every time he tried to go against him and fight him, it went bad for him. And Bocachica was catching all kind of shots, walking into shots. I thought he was gonna get stopped at one point, but he did a good job trying to win the middle rounds and the late rounds. But around the 7th, 8th round, man, he started to give up. Man, he didn't really feel like it was his night. He had a chance, which is a bad situation when we in the fight game, the punch game. You got all that power, and you feel like you can't get a guy up out of there, and you just kind of hang it up. I didn't like that because I felt like he's a better talent, even though he's a young guy. And that's the thing about guys fighting young like that at 25. They fight these top guys, and they feel like, oh, I'm a finished product. So if I can't beat this guy, I don't need to be boxing. And that's why when you go to box rec, you see a lot of these guys don't really go on competing because they feel like they're taking so many hard fights that they got no success out of it. I mean, he was successful in the fight, but it was just his strategy and his approach. Got to come in shape, man. You got to come in and let your hands fly. You can't go into a fight and say, I should have punched more, I should have did it. Yeah, you had the chance to do that. Ain't nobody gonna tie your hands behind your back in the fight. And that's kind of the way I was looking at things. I'm like, you gonna come in and compete, right? And I just didn't see that. I didn't see him really competing. I seen Quinton Randall in rare form. back looking like his original self, so he was still good. He fought a very good fight. That's all it was to it. On my end, I felt like Quinton Randall just couldn't be messed with, and it was a very good fight. But other than that, Bocachica, he lasted the distance, but at the same time, took a lot of damage. Didn't really show anything different. It was one of his. It wasn't one of his best performances either. So putting that out there really didn't help. But at the same time, it was still a competitive fight. Somebody had to lose, and I thought Quinton Randall did a very good job in this fight. Very sharp. He did an excellent job boxing. But that's all I got.